Welcome back to another video, and in this video I'm going to go over how long it took me to get my pilot license, what the process was, and the exact finances, like the exact amount that I spent to get it. This is 3 years old, it's a little bit overdue, but it's still pretty relevant today. So, you have two options, Part 61 or Part 141. Part 61 is like private school. You go find a school, you do your thing, you do it at your own pace, there's no rigorous schedule. Part 141 is like a university going through like Embry-Riddle or UVU, whatever your local university's flight program is. Part 141 is drastically more expensive, and this video does not apply to it. So if you're going Part 141, I guess you're going to ruin my retention rate. Go ahead and hop off. Now, if you're going Part 61, the first thing you need to do is you need to go find a flight school or an instructor. You can do that by calling around, Google searches, going to your regional airports. Again, don't rush this process. Find a really good instructor because, again, you're paying for this. And if you get a bad instructor, it could ruin aviation for you, and that would be tragic. So, the exact finances, let's get into it. I started probably about the 25th of, is that November? That's October of 2020. You have to get your pilot handbook of aeronautical knowledge, the flying handbook, and the FAR AIM. The FAR AIM is like the laws, and these two are about the actual mechanics of flying, the patterns, all the shenanigans. They're really not too bad, and you can get them off Amazon. Medical. This is important. You can get this in the middle of your flight training. But if you get halfway through your flight training and you fail the medical exam, as if you have like diabetes or seizures, you will have wasted all that time and all that money to get that far. So get your medical before you even start training to fly. And that cost me $110. Again, it might be a little bit more nowadays. Flying. This is also very, very dependent on what you do. If you fly a Cirrus aircraft, it's going to cost you like $500 an hour. If you're flying a Diamond or an older Cessna, you can get all the way down to, $120-ish. Most instructors will charge $50 an hour. So it's usually the plane rental per hour plus the instructor rental per hour is what that comes out to. So you're going to do a few flights, an intro flight maybe, or just learning how to take off and do basic maneuvers. After that, after those first couple flights, as soon as you realize you're going to lock in and you're going to do this, you need to start your ground school. Your ground school is all the theory, and your flying is, the application of that theory. You need to do your ground school along with your flying. If you start flying a lot and you don't catch up on your ground school, you're going to start doing maneuvers in which you haven't even studied about. The ground school really is the base to everything, and you need to know it. So I did mine online because I knew that I could study and work on a computer. I was the COVID generation in high school, so I can do this at home. If you cannot do it in person, but it's going to cost you more, obviously, to have like a classroom structure, other than that, online really is a good way to do it cheaply and efficiently. So I did that, and it was $97. Again, I did more flights, and as I did more flights, I would do ground school. Now that I knew I really, really liked flying, and I knew I was going to continue, I got ForeFlight. Now, ForeFlight is an application created by Boeing that shows all the aeronautical charts, all the maps, all the taxiway graphs, all the weather. You can have it connect to what's called an ADS-B, and it will show all the other airplanes around you on your cell phone without needing to connect to internet, because you're not going to have that when you're flying most of the time. Again, you pretty much need ForeFlight. I would not skip it. Flight. I just did more flight with an instructor, so it costs a little bit more. Fly. Ground school fly. Continue doing that all the way through, and this is how much it cost me for each flight. Some of these were, this is the cost of an Xbox. It's not cheap. So you keep flying, and at one point you're going to do what's called your solo, and this is like, you usually get your provisionary permit called the student license, which is like your driver's permit for planes. You can drive with an adult or an instructor. But you're going to do your solo, which is like getting your driver's license, which is like now you can fly the plane by yourself. But again, you can't fly like other people. You can just fly by yourself because they want to know that you can operate the plane by yourself before they give you a license. Before you do this, again, you need to do your medical. So hopefully you did that before. And then you are going to need to get renter's insurance, and that covers if you scratch the wingtip while parking it, or if you wreck the plane, it covers all the injured people if that happens, or all the damaged property. Hopefully you never need to use it, but that's what insurance cost me for a year. Then you do your solo flight, and once you do your solo flight, you're going to have a mix between flying by yourself, flying with an instructor. Really, once you do solo flights, it saves you a lot of money. I mean, these are 205, 202, 262 is a little higher, 137. A lot cheaper than up here where it was like 270, 300, 274, because you don't have to pay for that instructor for some of your flights. Now, after you do your first solo, you're going to do a few more lessons, and eventually your cross countries. Cross countries just mean that you flew past a certain distance. I mean, before they give you your pilot license, they want to make sure you can fly other places and not just in a circle all day. Again, I had to renew my M0A. I think it was monthly is what that cost is. Your cross-country flights, again, really expensive because you need a instructor for one of them, and you're flying a lot longer of a distance. And then it's just more flights, ground school, more flights, ground school. Your flight school is going to have their own itinerary, and you just follow it. And I followed that all the way through, and these are all the costs. Then you do your final check ride. Again, this can vary depending on your examiner. If it's like a family friend, maybe it's free. But at the end of the day, it cost me $11,247.80. The exact cents is not, I did not account for that. But really, it took me 11 grand in 6 months, and that was me flying. I mean, I have the dates here, but I knew I flew around 3 times a week sometimes more than that, and I really flew through it. So the faster you can get your pilot license, the cheaper it's going to be. If you can afford the nicer plane, go for it, but if not, just fly a cheaper, older Cessna or a Diamond. But I hope this is really helpful for you so you can get an idea of how much it'll cost you. It's going to be probably a little bit more because this is 3 years later. If you have any questions, please comment down below. If you want to see me flying, I have a video posted of that. If you thought this video was valuable to you and helpful, please like it. And if you have any questions, comment down below. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next video.